Why did it take me and her 18 plus years to start to figure this stuff out? Why is this stuff not talked about in the American families of how to work together? Because I know without a doubt that we are not the only family who has the exact same issue. Welcome to Empowered Homefront, where we talk about health, wealth, and relationships. And let's not forget about the most important one. And that, my friend, is faith. Because we've all been lied to, and I believe that we can skill stack our way all the way to success. And we're going to take you on this magnificent journey with us. Now, today, I have my beautiful wife with me, Lori. And this is our first time jumping in here together, so bear with us. And we're going to spit out a little introduction about roller coaster and carousel. Because even setting up this podcast, me and her both are a little bit frustrated at each other. And that's just part of being married. And we're going to explain to you how we came up with this concept, roller coaster and carousel. So hopefully it helps you and your loved one. All right, babe. How are you doing?
I'm here right now. Yeah. Talk about being frustrated and with you. I'm on a time crunch and I know I'm like putting that energy on you. But yeah, so where did we come up with this roller coaster and carousel at? Well, what was it? Last year we went to the fair with the kids, and like I hate roller coasters. I hate them with a passion. I do not like it. I do not like the pit that it gives me in my stomach. Like, just hate them.
I love roller coasters. I love feeling like I'm losing control and just trying to get control back.
So I guess we were on our way home, and we're just sitting here and we're talking. And it was like, babe, you're like a roller coaster. Like, you just like, you don't like, you're like, what's the next turn? How fast are we going? How fast can we get there? And like, you're like all of this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't like that. I like the carousel. I just like riding the horse. Like, I like everything in its place. I like everything like smooth and consistent.
When she says in her place, that doesn't mean she's organized. Okay. Let's just clarify that.
Seriously? Okay. I can talk about that one too. But as my grandmother said, I'm organized chaos. But I know where it is. It just might not be his thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the roller coaster. So, this whole concept, like, and then I think the next time we're talking to our therapist and we're like, hey, we realized that Eric's this roller coaster. He likes this and this and this. Like, 90 to nothing. Like, I can't keep up with him because, oh gosh, he's one way and then the next thing he's turning the other way. And like, I can't do it. And it gives me so much anxiety and so much stress.
And it causes nothing but conflict internally to the family.
It does.
And whenever we really came up with this concept, roller coaster carousel, what really hit me was the fact that I'm always pulling her. And there for the longest time, we would have arguments, literally discussions, like drop down. And I was just like, get off my freaking coattails, And we're going to be completely transparent with you. We got a big message when it comes to Empowered Homefront. And one of my number one goals, why did it take me and her 18 plus years to start to figure this stuff out? Why is this stuff not talked about in the American families of how to work together? Because I know without a doubt that we are not the only family who has the exact same issue. Matter of fact, like I got a phone book full of husband and wives who have the exact same issue. And just because you're the man doesn't mean you're the roller coaster. Women, y'all are roller coasters too, right? It's just what we see time after time after time. The couples who are trying, who want more in their life, they immediately run into the very first conflict, and that is one of them wants it more than the other.
Well, I mean, yes, you always want more. You're always like, what's the next thing? What can we do next? What can we do? And we see it over and over in our relationship, and it stresses me out. I am like what needs to be done now? what A to Z. I've got to get all this stuff done, and you are not. You are. I'm like 20 steps. You're 20 steps ahead, and I'm still back here on step 2. And then I'm trying to get caught up to your 20 steps. And by the time I even get to step 10, you've already gone ahead and changed it 10 more times on me. But
Yeah,
I mean, that's the dynamic of the roller coaster versus carousel, right? Like one's more in the present and one's more, what's the fast track? What can I do?
Yeah.
How can we get there? And like, that's just that concept for the roller coaster and carousel, that just helped us understand each other a little bit more, because we can understand it by looking at an actual roller coaster and an actual carousel. And that for us was a huge like light bulb that went off, right? Because oh, well, we understand better, and that helps us communicate a little bit more. Hey, I need you to slow down and be on my pace. And he's like, but it's also not me slowing down, it's also me trying to get a little bit faster.
Skill stat.
Yeah. And I can't say that word.
Skill stat.
I know. I just can't. But anyway, we needed a way that we could communicate, and to us that was the best. That was one of the easiest things we've been able to actually build, that communication with one another.
Yeah. And we had 50 minutes to run the show. And by the time we got started, after doing the roller coaster and carousel battle, because we do not have it all figured out,
Nope.
We are still learning, and we just want to help another family, right? And most importantly, like for our kids, a lot of this concepts that you hear me talk about and everything, it's based off the premise of what would have happened if my mother and father would have taught me all of their lessons before I left the house, right? And that's our goal with Empowered Homefront. And this is kind of like a little introduction of what those messages will be like, because she's out of time now. We got to wrap up. But the roller coaster and carousel, we can deep dive on that. And I promise you, understanding that concept and working with your spouse will help you become happier, right? Because happiness is a choice. And that's one thing that we definitely learned. I know I have. I mean, I won't speak for you, but happiness is absolutely a choice. Me being a roller coaster, I'm always just like, why can't you just be like this doctor who's making, $450,000 a year, and then I can go out and do all this other stuff, and I can make $1 million a year, and like, then we can work together, and like you're that wife where you're like doing all this stuff too, and like we're like she's winning, I'm winning, but
then
roller coaster and carousel. Yeah. Her winning is defined differently than mine. And
my carousel over here is like, is it ever going to be enough? Like,
it's never going to be enough, right? For me, it'll never be enough. I'll never stop giving. I'll never stop growing. But along the way, though, I'm trying to wrap this up really quick, because the big takeaway for the audience and the listeners right now, what I want you to hear is, as a roller coaster, we are always going to the next thing. And maybe that's the same thing, but you're trying to move quicker because you look at 5 years, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years down the road, and and you can visualize that path to get there. But the carousel that you're with gets stressed, overwhelmed, confused whenever you start talking about those things. And the big domino that got knocked over for me whenever we came up with this is that's okay. And what I need to do as a roller coaster is figure out how to slow down and support her by not slowing down my goals. And that is simply communicating better with Lori, right? So we actively have conversations where you see Lori just transformed into a sheepadoodle. But actively having conversations where you're talking to your carousel and you're saying, hey, this is what we're doing. I would like for you to help me with this. I would like for you to be involved, because that's the biggest disagreement is roller coaster wants to do something. Carousel's like, I don't even really want to be involved. And then when they show up to be involved, they're like, I'm doing everything you asked me to do. But to us at the roller coaster, they never fully bolt in. And because they didn't never fully bolt in, it bothers us to the core. And that causes conflict. And we're going to be talking about that more in later episodes. So anyway, hopefully you this brought some light and shedded some light on the roller coaster and carousel concept, because it's definitely changed mine and Lori's life. Lori, you got any closing tips?
No.
Other than you got to run?
Yeah, I got to run.
She's thinking about one thing.
Yeah, I have
Right.
to take the child to the next thing. So yes, I am like, yep, I get one tracked mind, and I'm like, I gotta go do this, and then it stresses me and causes me anxiety, and he keeps talking, and then I got this thing who wants to be petted because feels like she's not been petted in 2 days.
All right, till next time, you can do it. Skill stack to success.
Bye, guys.